What's up, schoolmates? Here we are again, no, for another episode para sa ating mga kabataan na hindi napapagod na makibaka sa pagbabago, lalo na sa sistema at kabi-kabilang issue na kinakaharap ng ating bansa
Yes,
ngayon.
Trisha, no? Andyan na rin ang mga bagyo, pagbaha, at lalong-lalo na ang corruption.
True.
Big word, di ba?
Totoo. Yan ang buzzword ng lahat
Yes.
recently.
Corruption. And you know what? Sobrang laki talaga ng epekto ng corruption sa bansa natin ngayon,
Correct.
no? Maraming tumayong tao para ipaglaban kung ano ang tama.
Correct. At saka, siguro, ay marami na kasi naging initiative about corruption
Right.
before. Pero parang mas naapektuhan kasi yung mga tao because of the recency ng mga bagyo.
Yes.
So doon siya mas lumabas, 'di ba? We know that corruption exists, but so far it has become like an internal joke
Yes.
sa bansa. So ngayon, dahil mas apektado tayo, mas kumikilos tayo.
And of course, I think then dahil nakita rin kasi ng mga tao sa online platforms ang luxury life ng mga politicians, knowing na
Para kanino ka nga ba bumabaho?
Oo, diba?
Sa bag ni
oo, di ba?
Oo, correct. So, syempre maraming apektado mga tao ngayon regarding corruption. Maraming natatamaang mga malalaking pangalan.
Right.
'Di ba? At ang malaking katanungan ngayon is that ano yung ginagawang aksyon ng mga kapwa nila leader about the issue of corruption. So, syempre no, schoolmates, nitong taon lamang, speaking of action, ito yung isang inihain na action nga daw o pinopropose. So guys, pinopropose pa lang, hindi pa siya actual law.
Yeah.
No, pinopose ng Zamboanga del Norte representative na si Kaimer Adan Olaso ang House Bill 11211 or 11211, no? O yung tinatawag nilang Death Penalty for Corruption Act. No? So, ang goal daw nito is to combat the biggest threat to the country's development, which in their eyes, ang kanilang na-identify ay corruption.
Kilala rin yung House Bill na ito, no, na death penalty by firing squad. Kaya
Okay.
marami ang umalma rito, lalo na ang Commission on Human Rights. Dahil ayon sa kanila, the bill is not guaranteed solution to eradicate corruption in the country.
Pero syempre, no, kabi-kabila yung mga issue ng korupsyon sa ating bansa. O ano nga ba yung thoughts ngayon ng mga kabataan knowing the death penalty? Syempre, parang, wow,
Diyos ko.
exciting death penalty. Meron na, ito na nga ba ang sagot sa problema ng ating bansa? So, kilalanin natin kung sino-sino nga ba ang mga debaters natin na maririnig natin kung ano ang kanilang perspektibo sa isyong ito.
I am Erin Paras, 21 years old, currently a fourth-year student of Political Science in Polytechnic University of the Philippines. It's one of the hot issues right now, yung corruption, hindi lang yung death penalty. Kasi everybody is seeking justice, everybody is looking for accountability, and death penalty is just one of those proposed measures, no? Kung paano natin mapapanagot yung mga nakakommit ng crime ng corruption, no, sa bansa natin. And bilang mga Filipino, bilang mga students, no, it is very relevant na maging critical tayo sa lahat ng usapin, particular yung mga usapin na political.
Hi, I'm Dion Rainier Santa Rosa. I'm 21 years old and I'm also currently taking up Bachelor of Arts in Political Science in Polytechnic University of the Philippines. It's very controversial and dapat siyang pag-usapan. Hindi siya dapat iwasan dahil maraming bagay na dapat pag-usapan dito sa framework, sa constitutionality nito. And we're excited na ma-discuss to alongside with the other side of debaters para ma-balance natin at syempre ma-discuss ng maayos ano nga ba yung dapat nating gawin dito about sa death penalty.
Hello, I am Wilaysa E. Torne, 21 years old, currently taking up Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Santa Mesa, Manila. Nag-research tayo ng maraming articles, hindi lang dito sa Philippines, pero ganun din sa international community, kung ano ba yung mga current scenarios sa international community, anong perception about death penalty in general. Kasi I think it will be also one of the conversations here. Tinignan din natin context ng Philippines. I think nakatulong din yun sa amin yun somehow sa pagpre-prepare, no, dun sa mga arguments namin para mamaya, no, kasi very relevant yung usapin ng korupsyon, no, and hindi na bago yung usapin ng death penalty kasi we also had our history about it naman. Hopefully, sabay-sabay kaming matuto mula sa isa't isa.
Kilalanin naman natin ang mga kabataan na hindi pabor sa parusa ng death penalty for corrupt politicians. Panoorin natin to.
Hello everyone, my name is Crisette Damsel and Directo, 20 years old, taking up Bachelor of Arts in Communications, a third-year student from the University of Caloocan City. Very relevant ngayon ang topic natin, and especially with the current political system that we have right now, or rather the political environment that we have right now. And we're really challenged as a team on how we can defend our side.
Hello everyone, I'm Khadija Harzallah, 23 years old, third year BA Communication student from the University of Caloocan City. We've discussed amongst ourselves our different beliefs and what are the current laws in the country that happen to prohibit the death penalty and what are the causes behind it, as well as what are the causes behind corruption itself. It also opens for us doors to think deeper into our government, think about the corruption and how we can eliminate this in our society.
Hello, I am Crisel Joanna Marie H. Saliantes, 20 years old, currently third year of Political Science from University of Caloocan City. We actually looking forward to having an open discussion, at the same time to connect with you in a way that your opinion and our side will be interlinked into a very good idea and proposition in this matter.
We are looking forward to having this dialogue with you.
Sa aming pagbabalik, atin na matutunghayan ang mainit-init na debating ito. Masasagot na nga ba ang tanong na dapat nga bang ibalik ang death penalty sa bansa? Kaya naman dyan lamang kayo at magbabalik lamang ang
Schoolmates!
Nagbabalik ang Schoolmates at syempre bilang paalala sa ating mga manonood, ang Schoolmates ay hindi nagdidikta kung ano ang tama or mali. Our goal is to spark the conversation and hear the perspectives ng ating mga kabataan regarding social issues. Kaya naman, bago tayo magsimula, let's lay down the ground rules. Ano nga ba to?
May dalawang teams na maglalaban, ang Team Pro at Team Con, na may tig-tatlong miyembro. Ang team leaders ang unang sasalang sa ating debate. Para sa bawat tanong, may 3 rounds or lives ang bawat isa na may 30 seconds per speaker per round. Kapag sobrang intense at walang gustong magpatalo, we activate the bonus round. 1 minute and 30 seconds yan na free flow discussion. Meaning, bahala na magsagutan ang magkabilang panig. Pero kung halimbawa, hindi na makarebat ang naunang debater, pwede siyang mag-buzz para palitan ng ibang team member. Ito ang twist. Bilang mga host, may kapangyarihan kaming mag-buzz sa gitna ng laban. Kung medyo off, boring, o hindi kami satisfied sa sagot ng sinumang debater, we can buzz you out at papalitan ng ibang team member. Kaya make sure na hindi lang matalino ang sagot nyo. Dapat klaro, direkta at convincing. Bring your best arguments.
At nalaman na nga natin ang ground rules para sa ating debate, kaya naman simulan na natin ang debating ito and we will start with our team leaders sa ating unang katanungan. Death penalty for corrupt politicians, dapat o hindi dapat? Erin.
We believe that death penalty for corrupt officials is a just sanction, no, for them committing crimes such as corruption, because we believe that corruption is a heinous crime that do not only plunders the money of the people but also literally kills the people. So here are the 3 social realities that I am basing off my argument. First is that it kills the dream of the people by depriving them of quality education. Second,
Okay.
it kills the people when we let them be stuck in poverty.
Okay.
And lastly, it kills the people who have no access to public healthcare services.
Okay.
Actually, I believe that the death penalty itself should not be reinstated back into our society because it is a corruptible law. It can be corrupted by our judicial processes itself. And I believe that in our team, we believe that how are we sure that the death penalty will be given to those who are really guilty of corruption? And we believe here that that there are alternative options to the death penalty, and we can instead propose alternative options to combat corruption.
Okay, so you don't believe in the system, and what I'm hearing from you is that it will work kasi it's a deterrent. Tama ba?
Yes.
Okay, so kilala yung binanggit natin na bill kanina as death penalty by firing squad. It could be any other means. Maybe you can propose something else. But sa tingin nyo ba, enough ba ito to instill fear sa mga corrupt politicians sa ating bansa? Erin?
I definitely believe po no, that imposing or reinstating death penalty as a sanction to corrupt politicians will really instill fear no sa mga politicians na ito, because kapag nandyan na yung parameters na masiset natin na yung corruption can be a sanction through death penalty, I think they will think twice no before they act such heinous crime no against the people. And I believe the reason kung bakit nagkakaroon din tayo ng ganitong conversation, we are considering death penalty as a sanction, is because we believe that our existing parameters is not working anymore.
Okay, so there is disbelief also in the system. That's why you're proposing death penalty. Ano masasabi mo dun?
I don't believe po na the death penalty can make the politicians fear such law. And I believe here that politicians can evade the law. And what we're
Okay.
seeing right now is that the current system that we have, they are actually evading the law, and some of them are being able to get away with doing corruption. So here in our theme, what we're proposing here is that we do not believe that this will instill fear to politicians because they can evade such a law, they can bend the law.
What I'm hearing from you both is that pwede kasing mapalitan yung ulo ng isang
Yes.
pwedeng corrupt na politician. So, you are saying that it's flawed. That's what
Yes,
you're
that's what
saying.
I'm saying.
And what you're saying is that it's a good deterrent. Okay? So, that's your parameter. Sige. So, sa panukalang ito, kung maibaba man yung death penalty, and in your case, can you state that specific alternative? Tingin nyo ba it should only encompass select government officials? Meaning to say, kasi di ba in the bounds of accountability, sino ba dapat ang sumasagot pag merong korupsyon? Ang ulo nga lang ba or yung head of the department? O dapat down to the actual criminal person, yung talagang nag-commit, yung nagtanggap ng pera, kung sino man ang actual doer nitong corrupt act na ito, dapat ba ma-extend yung sanction na yun to them or dapat head ang sumagot doon? Erin,
I believe po that yung kung sino man yung talagang nag-commit ng crime must answer to the people, must be held accountable. Kasi kahit na, let's say, sa structure ng Philippine politics, yes, kailangan accountable yung president because siya yung chief executive.
okay.
Pero meron pa rin po kasi tayong tinatawag na principle na, yun nga po, yung power is delegated to this individual. So,
Okay.
you know your responsibility, you know you know your job. So if ever man na mag-commit ka ng crime na alam mo naman consciously, you must answer to the people.
Okay.
As we in the opposition, we really actually don't want to reinstate the death penalty back into our society because we believe that it is a corruptible system, and therefore,
Bakit?
what we fear here,
Bakit? Bakit corruptible siya in the case na kung ibababa natin to the lowest government official, bakit siya maging
we
corruptible?
believe that innocent lives could be caught in the crossfires of big political rivalries. So we
Okay.
fear here that the system itself can be used as a tool of power, it can be abused, kumbaga,
Okay.
yung mismong death penalty, and it can be used to silence those who are oppositions or rivalries of the other party.
Sige, I want to hear a specific alternative. Kapag sinabi mo meron kang alternative na to death penalty by firing squad, what's that alternative?
Our alternative here in the opposition, we believe that instead of reinstating the death penalty, we believe that we should instead improve our judicial system, and we should also improve the laws that we have set upon regarding, for example, the current laws that we have with the political dynasties. There should be amendments or revisions to the laws that we have set there so that we can also avoid political dynasties that span across centuries, or rather that span across decades po.
Ano masasabi mo doon when she's saying na the way to correct the system is to add more guardrails to an already failing system? What's your answer to that?
I think I have to refute first po no, yung sinabi niya doon sa regarding sa political dynasties. For the longest time, we don't have law that
Mhm.
prohibits political dynasties. So that's one of the many flaws of our legal systems right now. Pero I agree na flawed yung justice system, and we believe that reinstating death penalty will push the system itself to develop. Kasi nandyan naman na yung parameters, nandyan na yung sandigan bayan, nandyan na nagsimula na tayo sa anti-graft and corruption. So what's stopping us rather from developing this parameters to sanction this corrupt politician?
Palit muna tayo. I want a different perspective. Palit tayo. Sige, Khadija and Walaisa. Kung may alternative system siya na pinopropose in your opposition, di ba, na putting guardrails in an already failing system, and your case is that death penalty should stop that, ano ang guarantee natin na on all sides, meron ka talagang mapapanagot na isang tao? Because in the case of what's happening now in the Philippines, we're going through a lot of different processes in the judicial system, but we are not holding anyone accountable. What makes death penalty a good alternative, and why does it not make a good alternative? Ikaw muna, Walaisa.
Okay, so death penalty is a good alternative, no? Kasi sa kasalukuyang sistema ng Philippines, no? And I think it's very, very apparent, no? Kahit sa studies sa political science and all, that even our judicial system is very flawed, no? And pushing death penalty will actually make it develop in a sense that hindi lang sa usapin, no, ng mga politiko, no, yung magiging accountable, pero yung mismong justice system mismo. Kasi even them have actually connections with the judicial system itself, no? So we have to develop.
Okay.
If we impose the death penalty, we have to remember that the Philippines under the Philippine Constitution, Article 3, Section 1 and Section 19, it states that each individual has the right to life, as well as the Philippines abolishes or bans death penalty. In addition to this, under the Human Rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 3 and 5, it also states that death penalty is prohibited.
Okay.
Okay, I might have to refute, no, your statement that I think you are pointing out that death penalty is absolutely unconstitutional, no, sa Philippines and even in the international arena. Well, it's not. No, if you are to study the Article 3 Bill of Rights of the Constitution, especially in this Section 19, it states here, no, that the government is actually proposing an alternative, which is reclusion perpetua. But that penalty is not actually unconstitutional here, because even when the 1987 Constitution have been passed, during Fidel Ramos' time, that penalty have been imposed.
Okay.
Still, we can highlight that death penalty is still unconstitutional, especially that the Philippines is one of the signatories of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which states that the Philippines has agreed to ban death penalty, and this cannot be revoked.
Okay, so I might have to refute another statement of yours, because there is actually a principle when it comes to municipal and international law. Now, municipal law is a priority, or kumbaga it comes first, no, doon sa international law na tinatawag natin, no. So time ni Fidel Ramos, meron tayong death penalty, and it could be imposed again, no, when the legislative actually legislates one, no, here in the Philippines. So we have what we call the term legislative allowance here in the Philippines for that, no. So it's not entirely unconstitutional.
Still, as you have mentioned a while ago, you have agreed that the Philippine justice system is, first of all, slow, it is flawed, it is not perfect. How can we guarantee that? What about those? Just think about those who have been pressured into the system of corruption, and they have not fully intentionally want to be in this. In other words, they are innocent. This can be very risky for us. In addition, there is no evidence that that death penalty reduces corruption.
Okay. We're now in the free-flow discussion. Hayaan ko kayong tumuloy sa sinasabi ni
Ayan,
Khadija.
no. So, when it comes to the legal system that you are saying, no, of course, this is actually visible here in the Philippines, no. For the past few years, or kasaysayan na mismo ang nagpatunay na yung mismong sistema natin, even in the Supreme Court, no, meron tayong tinatawag na patrimonialistic relationship when it comes to Philippine politics, that even our highest leaders, no, are actually in alliance with our Supreme Court justices and all. No, so hindi yung death penalty, it will not only help them kumbaga
Let
develop.
me stress again the fact that it is unconstitutional, which means that
It is not unconstitutional if you read no actual laws about it.
No,
if
the
you
law is
study the Fidel
absolute.
Ramos.
The law is
no,
absolute.
No, the law is not absolute.
Yes, Yes, it
No,
is.
the law is not absolute.
And in addition to this, it's not about having more laws, but it's about having laws that are feasible.
Then
and
what
that
laws are
doesn't-
you actually proposing?
We propose that, again, we have to improve our justice
In
system.
what way?
And one of the
In what way?
if
When
you
even
really
our
want to reduce corruption,
even if our
if we
lawyers
really want
are
to prevent
Supreme
corruption,
Court,
we have to
look
do
at
it.
what is happening in our
We have to
system
do-
right
we
now
have to
with the
start-
issue of our current
We have to
high
start
leader that
Okay.
is
eliminating corruption
Okay.
from the roots.
I like the fact that you're all impassioned about this specific topic. But balik tayo, no? I like how the discussion went. But what I needed to hear is that from both sides of the pro, if you think that death penalty should work, what are the timelines that are we looking at that guarantees efficacy of this specific law? Or this bill, rather. It's not yet a law. It's not, di pa siya pumapasa sa read. So, kumbaga, with this proposal, what guarantees the efficacy? On your end, since you are proposing that we should put more guardrails and not new laws, how can we improve the current guardrails given that even with the guardrails right now, uso pa rin yung palit-ulo, retracting of statements, iba-ibang tao ang nailalagay natin behind bars despite evidences that are compelling. I want to hear first from Erin.
So
Tapos
when
ako
it
yung
comes
mag-flow.
to the timeline, no, I think it is very important, no, that this will be hard to say because even our legislative system is actually flawed. All
Okay.
our major government agencies and branches are actually flawed, no. So I think if we are to have a particular point person, no, that will work on this law, it has to be the progressive politicians.
Okay, but what timelines are we looking at?
I think our timeline or our target timeline, if mas immediate siya, no, if mas immediate siyang maipapasa ay 6 years. We can look at it
In a
no, or
specific
6.
term of the presidential.
yes.
Okay, so we're looking at a specific presidential duration. Ikaw, ano masasabi mo na specific guardrails that will work better than what she's saying?
First, back to the main reason why are you proposing the death penalty? It is to prevent corruption.
Mm-mm.
It is to eliminate corruption. How can we guarantee that by pushing this bill, we can prevent corruption? It is not strategic. If we really want to prevent corruption, what we have to do is to go through the roots of each department, improve our education system, improve our
Okay.
the economy, and as well as look into the laws. What are the needed amendments that can ensure accountability, and that there is no way because lawmakers and politicians, politicians, they know how to twist, they know how to use the law. How can they misuse? So we have to ensure that our laws are made strategic.
Okay. So I hear strategic laws from progressive politicians. I want a change of speakers. Balikan natin, no? I want to hear a specific strategy. Ano sa tingin nyo ang root cause ng corruption? Sorry balikan lang natin kasi we're trying to address corruption here, but what exactly is the root cause of corruption? And how does death penalty actually address that? And how does alternative guardrails avoid having corruption in the system? Or is that something that we cannot avoid in a specific country that is bureaucratic like the Philippines? Dion.
Unang-una sa lahat, ang pinagmumulan ng korupsyon ang kapitalistang sistema.
Okay.
So, it is the very root cause of this corruption. Dahil sa kapitalistang sistema, natututo ang mga tao na maging greed sa power, maging greed sa pera. Kaya ang pinapoint natin dito is corruption is not about just a stolen money, it's about a stolen social wealth. Na sa bawat peso na ninanakaw ng mga corrupt na politicians, ay ito yung mga peso na pinaghirapan ng mga manggagawa, magsasaka at ng mga mahihirap na dapat na ilalaan dapat sa edukasyon, sa pagpapalakas ng ating sistema sa mga ospital at syempre pagpapakain sa mga gutom.
Okay. How does your specific strategy, kasi na-mention ni Khadija kanina, kailangan ng strategic laws. What kind of laws will actually address corruption? And why do you think corruption exists?
Firstly, why do we think corruption exists? Is because, kagaya sinabi niyo, palit-ulo. I believe the pro theme also acknowledges that it is hindi lang isa yung gumagalaw sa corruption system natin, kundi iba. That's why we are encouraging or we are encouraging the what we call is reform itself. Yung sistema mismo ang problema. the idea is very good, but we are talking about the risk. The big risk that we are talking about here is regarding the ICCPR, the treaty.
Okay, sige. Let's part that discussion. Dion, balik tayo dito sa'yo. What do you think are the concrete steps to eradicate corruption?
So I think the biggest or the concrete step na pwede natin gawin is syempre mag-impose nga nung pinopropose natin na death penalty. Kasi nga, ang pinopoint natin dito, ang death penalty is a powerful deterrent.
Okay.
Dahil ang death penalty ay mag-i-instill ng fear sa mga corrupt politicians. Masyado nang pagod ang mga Pilipino sa paulit-ulit. Ngayon, gaya nga na sinasabi natin, papalit-palit yung Blue Ribbon, yung mga suspect sa flood control anomalies, naging state witness na. So, the Filipinos are tired sa mga paulit-ulit na session. So we must instill the death penalty to instill fear sa mga corrupt politicians. At kailangan na ng masa na patuloy na umalsa at mailabas yung galit nila. Dahil ayun yung nararapat.
Okay. Sige. I'm hearing that because you're tired of the changes in the suspects, in how the judicial system is actually carrying out the process, how do you propose we guardrail the judiciary branch of the Philippines? Because if you're putting death penalty as part of the laws, how can it not be abused on your end?
Yes, actually, your very proposition in death penalty is very idealistic, no? Because when we talk about death penalty, it is very risky in a part kasi at the same time, we also want justice, but not in a way that we are risking this kind of, especially there will be a tendency of frame up, no? At the same time, as I mentioned earlier, it is a treaty, no? We are bound to international obligations. Do we really need, or do we really can the Philippines can really be afford to lose its diplomatic relations to the other countries, and can we really take criticism?
Okay. Yan.
Okay, let's talk about justice. Hindi lang hanggat nananatili ang mga corrupt na politician, hindi matatamasa ng mga Pilipino ang sinasabi nating hustisya. So, ang binabanggit natin, pagod na tayo, paulit-ulit na lang yung mga sessions sa Senate, sa Congress. Kaya kailangan natin ng isang batas na magkakaroon ng isang matibay na batas upang magparusa sa mga taong nagnanakaw ng yaman na hindi naman nila pinaghirapan. So what we are gonna propose is a death penalty na siyang tutulong, hindi lang para sa
Okay. Okay, sige. I want to reframe the question kasi umuulit tayo with a failed system, umuulit tayo with how the emotions of the people are. So, given that the Philippines is a shame-driven country, it's not fear-driven kasi kung fear-driven ang bansa, marami nang takot na magkurakot ngayon. It's shame-driven. That's why most of the people who have corrupted, have retreated from the limelight is because it's shame-driven. How do we instill fear or shame in a sense that, one, it doesn't ensure palit ng ulo or evades the law, and second is that it's foolproof. Hindi kayang i-evade yung sinasabi ninyo about death penalty, because I agree, what you're saying is very idealistic. How do we guardrail that? If you're pushing for death penalty, what should be the parameters that are set? Dion.
So I think the parameters na we can set is, syempre, meron tayong tinatawag na people's initiative.
Okay.
So, kailangan talaga pagdating sa mga batas or sa pagkakaroon ng mga session regarding this, ay merong people participation.
Okay.
And binabanggit nga natin, the power only belong or will always belong to the people. So, kailangan natin ng mga tao na pwedeng makisali dito sa mga discussion na to about sa kung
But
sino ba
isn't
yung...
that the goal of the House of Representatives?
Yes, it is the goal of House of Representatives, pero pinatunayan na nakasaysayan na ang House of Representatives, ang nire-representa nila ang mga elitist ng pamilya, ang mga
Okay.
political dynasties.
Okay, given what he said, how can we make that alternative foolproof in your case? If it's not death penalty, how?
You said yourself, di ba? Dahil yung mga taong nakaupo is mga from political dynasty itself. At the same time, palitulo, di ba? How can we be sure na killing another simple politician can reduce or can really be a solution to corruption? At the same time, when we talk about death penalty, it is very risky at the same time. No? So, what we are talking about, as I said, what we are seeing kasi is in the lens of risk and consequences. What you're talking about, of course, seeking justice through the idealistic solution. But as you can see, this kind of part can only be to reform by
Okay.
changing the people.
I want palit. I want a different, I want the leaders ulit. Okay. Sige. to summarize what your teams have mentioned,
Hmm.
it's a faulty system and it's a deterrent. Balik tayo ulit doon. What is your replacement to the death penalty by firing squad? And what can be the manner at which it can be reviewed? Kasi tayo nagsasabi tayo na hindi, pangit tong sistemang to, ganito siya. But what really is faulty in our system? I want to identify that. Then on your end, how can we make death penalty foolproof? Kasi yun yung pinapoint nilang chink on your armor. How do we do that? Erin?
I think to add lang din po no, sa points na na-layout ni Melissa kanina, our parameters to ensure that death penalty will actually work no, sa mga sa corruption cases is that willing kami na ihain ng Congress yung amendments doon sa jurisdiction ng Sandigan Bayan kasi nandiyan naman na yung Sandigan Bayan as a court that hears and tries corruption cases. So ang kailangan na lang natin gawin, i-ensure na yung jurisdiction ng Sandigan Bayan ay meron din silang maset na na meron din silang maset na parameters no para sa pagtatry ng cases na possible na magkaroon ng sanction for death penalty.
Okay.
That's
That's unclear to me. You have to go back to that later. Okay.
I think that the replacement that we can have instead of the proposed bill 11211 is that instead of thinking of the death penalty as as the most severe punishment that we can have to our corrupt politicians, why not we strengthen as again I will reiterate
How?
what we're
I want to hear how.
we can strengthen our judicial system by revising our laws that needs revision in itself, because if we're going to argue that the judicial system in itself is flawed and it is imperfect, then why not we make it perfect? Why not we create more discussions that can expose the imperfections of our laws?
Okay. What I want to hear more of is how can we impose a check and balance system both internally and externally? Because if you're proposing a death penalty, how can we make sure that the person who is being tried for it is not just a palit ulo, is not just someone who was absorbed into this entire system of corruption, and we only give the most severe sanction to the one who is most accountable? How can we do that?
I think papasok po yung checks and balance dito sa point na we need the power of the Congress to actually commit themselves into creating laws not just in the expansion of the jurisdiction of Sandigan Bayan sa paghihear ng mga corruption cases or graft cases ng mga politicians or ng mga public officials. At the same time, I agree na kailangan na natin ng immediate passing of a law that actually prohibits political dynasties or political families in general. Kasi yun po yung political landscape natin right now. Whether we like it or not, they are political families who withhold power like a family business.
Okay.
Let's just rethink the discussion first. We're going to discuss this in an ethical and a philosophical way, because laws can be amended. And what I'm getting here, or what I'm trying to get here, is that should we set a precedent for society that violence equates to justice? Should we not instead create alternative options instead? And that's what we're trying to propose here. And we don't want a society wherein we are advocating for violence, for becoming barbaric, and that's what we believe in.
Okay, so it's more of like setting what culture you're trying to
Yes.
propagate in the country. Sige, given that the country's system right now is still up for debate until the next election, do you think that with the death penalty, the new administration will be able to carry this out in terms of continuing whatever systems were already in place? Kumbaga, death penalty is just an add-on law. And in your case, since you're proposing improvements in specific laws, what specific improvements are you trying to probe? Yun yung gusto kong marinig. Kasi we're talking about improvements as a general motherhood statement, but we're not specifying what that chink is. I want to hear from you first.
I think nandun pa rin naman po yung faith no, na magpapatuloy yung death penalty kung sakaling magpalit man ng administration. Kung ma-approve natin siya ngayon and magpapalit tayo ng administration, I think because of the safeguards no, na nandun sa law, mananatili pa rin po
What
yung
is the safeguards from the law? Can you elaborate?
kasi po 'di ba parang bago po kasi ma-repeal yung batas, 'di ba kailangan pa ulit ng isang congressional process para matanggal, ma-amend or gumawa ng bagong batas. So I believe and I have faith, no, na hindi titignan ng mga politiko, hopefully, no, pag nagkaroon na ng death penalty, yung kulay nila or yung pagkakaiba nila. Because if we really believe that now is the time para magkaroon ng pagbabago sa political system ng Philippines, I think
And
now
you
is
think
the time.
death penalty is the catalyst for that?
Yes po.
Okay.
Since we are a shame-driven country, I believe the alternative solution that we can have, the things that we can amend in our law is that to have more safeguards, to have more transparency to our to how we deliver, or rather to how we create policies, not just and. We know by now that the government is trying to be more transparent. However, there should be also there should be continuing revisions to that. We believe that there should always be room for improvement, and as well in
Okay. You want to go through the free flow discussion? Bigyan kita ng chance ituloy yung sinasabi mo. Okay.
as well we believe that in the opposition there are such things that such as making the public know about all aspects of our policies, because what I'm getting here is that people are or rather corrupt politicians are able to get away with corruption because the people do not know what these policies are all about. So what we're proposing here is that we not just lay out what these policies are, but rather how it is going to be implemented, how it is going to be supervised, who supervises it.
But that is the problem po, because they do not fear the law anymore because they think that the law is not harsh enough for them to be sanctioned. They are not taking the law seriously because we are not harsh enough to these politicians who are committing corruption as a heinous crime.
How do you think that they will also fear death penalty in itself if they can also
Who is
bend the law?
not afraid of death? I mean, if you are to face death right now, are you not afraid to die?
If I'm a corrupt politician, what I would do is that to bend the law to my own liking. So therefore, I could also use
No,
the
I
death
believe
penalty.
na
I could also use the death penalty to
have to
silence
have
those who goes
faith
against me.
to
Okay.
the separation of the powers of the branches of our
Okay,
government.
now I'm hearing more.
Because
what are you talking about?
the involved politician, for examples, are part of the executive branch, part of the legislative branch. And the branch that we are putting our faith in is the judicial branch.
Okay.
So, dun pa lang po, I think, kailangan
Sorry,
natin.
ang gusto ko malaman, so does the death penalty also extend to the judiciary branch if proven that they are also part or in cahoots with these people who are corrupt?
That's why po kailangan nating i-propose na at the same time na i-approve natin yung death penalty. Nandun din po yung judicial cleansing na
Okay.
tinatawag natin, na kailangan yung composition ng judicial system natin is that hindi siya ganun
Patrimonial.
patrimonial to the existing system po sa loob ng legislative or sa loob ng executive. In that way, walang personal connection, may impartiality. So
Okay.
nandun yung just and fair trial ng mga cases na ganito. And
So are
we
you saying to
believe,
me, are you telling me that judicial cleansing should include death? That we as a society should set our principles, our philosophy in life, that in order to get justice, it should be death? I mean, because if we are going to have that kind of society, then that is such a cruel and inhumane society to live in. Because if we are going to also include barangay officials,
but
as is
corruption
in the bill,
itself,
as stated in the bill, if we're going to include
corruption
barangay officials, then
itself,
I don't think it will be a very, very I don't think it will be a just society to live in, and I don't think justice will flourish in the society because you can just kill.
I will
people.
have to reinstate that corruption is even more dangerous and even more marahas, no?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Corruption kills
I don't think-
people.
yes,
So
I know
why
that.
do
I
we
don't
have
think so.
to give humane, or why do we have to give courtesy to these politicians who are literally stealing in front of our face?
I
Why
do agree.
do
I
we
do
have
agree that corruption is
to grant them humane
Okay.
policies or humane sanction when they do not even think about our future?
Maraming salamat sa ating mga debaters. Actually, hindi ko natanong sa iyo is what statistics or what is the efficacy of death penalty in those countries that have actually instated that? Yun yung hindi ko narinig eh. So, anyway, mamaya, in your closing statements, you may be able to reiterate that.
Yes.
But once again, maraming salamat sa ating mga debaters. At Grabe kayo? Okay. Marami akong gustong marinig pero parang sa dulo ko na naririnig. So sayang. So anyway, so alamin naman natin ngayon kung ano nga ba ang comments naman ng ating mga nanonood sa social media. At lahat ng yan ay sa pagbabalik lamang ng Schoolmates.
Nagbabalik ang Schoolmates. Bago natin mapakinggan ang last statement ng ating mga debaters, ay atin munang basahin ang ilang comments ng ating mga schoolmates sa social media. Umpisahan natin mula kay Mario Gani. Ang sabi niya, tingin ko needed na din ng independent body sa bawat sangay ng gobyerno. Mga hindi ka mag-anak o kaibigan. Nonsense kasi na pagtutulungan kapag di nila kaalyado. Then, yung kulungan dapat magkaiba sa mga heinous crime. Sabi naman ni John Ray Bello, dapat ibalik at magkaroon ng death penalty sa bansa natin para sa mga taong nagnanakaw, lalo na ang mga corrupt na politiko at mga taong paulit-ulit na nagnanakaw sa kaban ng bayan. Dahil sa korupsyon, maraming Pilipino ang naghihirap, walang trabaho at walang maayos na serbisyo mula sa gobyerno. Maraming may hirap ang lalong naghihirap at nagdudusa dahil sa mga politicians na sarili lang nila ang iniisip at pansariling kapakanan.
Wow, grabe yung mga
Grabe,
thoughts ng
diba?
ano, no?
Oo.
Ay, na ako nakarinig na ganong kahabang paragraph ang sinend ng isang social media natin
Gigil na gigil ang
Schoolmates.
social media wire na ito, no? Okay. Schoolmates, narinig natin ang saloobin ng mga keyboard warriors from our social media platforms, no? At para mas maging updated sa ating mainit na diskusyon, ugaliing makialam at maging boses rin ng ating mga kabataan by following our social media pages na inyong makikita sa ating screens.
Ayan. Okay, at ngayon naman ating pakinggan ang last statements ng ating mga debaters.
Our problem at hand is corruption, and for it to be mitigated, we must kill the problem itself. And how do we kill the problem? By accepting and acknowledging na yung politicians na nag-commit po ng corruption is greedy enough to fulfill their political power, and they do not have remorse sa mga ginawa nilang krimen. And in fact, after nilang magnakaw, they will still want to reinstate themselves to power just to get more wealth from the
Okay.
people. So with that, we still believe that death penalty is not inherently constitutional because again, if we are to review the law, Article 3 Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution, Section 19, in fact, death penalty is not unconstitutional, but rather we just prioritize reclusion perpetua as a sanction. Pero death penalty in itself is not unconstitutional to the Philippines. And in fact, we lay out congressional allowance, no, para po ma-set yung parameters just in case we are now open to talk about death penalty as a form of sanction to corruption. And lastly po, I would like to also tell the people that if these politicians is inhumane enough to commit such crimes to us, to deprive us of our dreams, to deprive us of genuine quality education, genuine public healthcare services, why must we spare them for such punishment, 'di ba? We still believe that the laws that we have right now is not harsh enough. That is why they are not taking us seriously because we are so soft. We are so lenient to the culture, to the even the religious side, no, of our culture, that that human rights is absolute. But in fact, if we are to look at the degree of the crime, death penalty is a just sanction to a heinous crime such as corruption.
We believe that that is not justice, and that justice should be delivered to those who must be held accountable. How can you hold someone accountable if the punishment is swift and if the punishment itself cannot hold the person accountable because he is dead? We believe that it is also irreversible if we were to convict someone innocent who are only caught in the crossfires of large political political rivalries, how do we ensure that this person is not really guilty, or rather how can we ensure that this person is really guilty of corruption? And mind I tell you that death is irreversible. It is an irreversible punishment, and that it is a final punishment. Once you create a mistake in the judicial process, you cannot turn it back, because a life is still a life. And additionally, how can we ensure that the death penalty will be properly executed in our judicial system? Our judicial system, which is, as you have mentioned, corrupt in itself. So how can we ensure that the death penalty will not be a tool of power to be abused by those who are corrupt? For those who are corrupt politicians, and as well, are we to set precedent to society that the only way that we can gain justice is if we resort to violence and brutal tactics in order to evade corruption, in order to prevent corruption? Why not we instead create, or rather create or propose solutions, alternative solutions, in which will safeguard not only those who are innocent, but also our policy, our institutions, and even what we believe as a Filipino society.
Yung thought ko talaga about it, sobrang agree ako sa sa death penalty. Pero knowing their arguments, parang napapaisip ako na nasapat ba talaga ang kamatayan bilang parusa sa mga corrupt politicians? Kasi gets ko yung thought ng mga agree about it eh. Kasi, di ba harap-harapan ka ng ninanakawan? And I think kasi, ang korupsyon ang pinagmumulan ng kahit anong kasalanan eh. Magagawa mo yung kahit anong kasalanan na
Okay.
na hindi mo iniisip yung
Parang mas may
kapakanan ng
intent.
iba.
May,
Oo.
may intent kasi yung corruption. Planado yung gano'n.
Yes,
Okay.
pero knowing their arguments, no, parang napa-self-thought talaga ako. Self-thought?
Self-talk.
Napaisip
Tinuruan
ako.
ng sarili.
Oo,
Okay.
napaisip ako na parang, oo nga no, sa bansa natin, parang magkakaroon nga ng palit-ulo na
Oo.
sinasabi. Kasi, well, knowing their power, knowing their...
Nangyayari na yun ngayon.
Oo, na
diba?
nangyayari na ngayon na kayang-kaya nila na i-bend yung batas.
Oo.
And for sure, kapag sila yung nandyan, gagawin nila lahat para maiwasan yung bagay na yun. So, agree din ako sa other side no na mas mag-focus tayo sa justice system natin. Na
Okay.
itama natin to, na i-fix natin to. Kasi well, given na yung mga tao na nandiyan yung may mga corrupt politicians nga na after gawin yung sentence nila, nakakatakbo pa ulit at nananalo pa ulit.
Correct.
So, gets ko din yung
Mapaisip
iba,
ka, bakit?
'di ba? Na
Oo.
bakit? So, feeling ko rin gets din na na kaya nila ginagawa yun paulit-ulit dahil wala silang takot.
Correct.
So, ang takot na yun ba ang magiging ugat para matigil yung krimen na patuloy nilang ginagawa?
Marami sa mga social media warriors ngayon or nakikinig kasi maraming reaction vids, di ba?
Yeah.
Sa mga nangyayaring hearing ngayon. Balik tayo doon sa call to action muna to the people. Why does corruption happen to us? Because we tolerate it.
Yeah.
The discipline of the Filipino people is very laxing, very lenient. Babalik tayo dun eh. Bakit sa ibang bansa, marunong tayong sumunod ng batas, pero sa sarili nating batas, hindi tayo sumusunod?
Right.
Sa unang instance pa lang, sa traffic, sa pag-acquire ng mga bagay-bagay, kapag lulusot, 'di ba? So that kind of system, that kind of culture creates a breeding ground for corruption to happen. Kasi yung mentality ng Pilipino, kapag lulusot, 'di ba? So, balik tayo doon. If we as Filipinos hold these people accountable on the get-go, doon ako mag-agree sa death penalty. Now, why do I think that death penalty is flawed in itself? Because when you say death penalty, it guarantees a swift end to things.
Yes.
It does not make them really grovel, doesn't make them suffer about what they did to the Philippines. And where does that put us? We should check how the judicial system carries out these kinds of punishments. Why are we giving preferential treatments to certain politicians who are already in jail? Diba?
Totoo.
So, that kind does not instill fear. So, on the get-go, death penalty does not really answer the question. So, justice system should have more pangil in a sense, 'di ba?
Yes.
And balik ako dun sa sinasabi nilang patrimonial relations. Silipin natin, sino-sino nga ba ang leaders na iniluluklok natin sa posisyon? At bakit, kung kailan meron tayong certain politicians in power, may kaalyado din sila sa judicial system. So, the power goes back to the people. How can we avoid this from happening? We should have more participative leaders.
Right.
'Di ba? So, yung mga tao, nag-aas ng accountability sa mga leaders, pero tayo mismong tao, we just let it happen.
Mhm.
'Di ba? So, balik tayo, ano nga ba yung kultura ang meron ng Pilipino?
Pinagmulan.
Totoo. So, balik naman tayo dun sa mga leaders naman natin ngayon. When we ask as youth na, I want accountability from so and so, how are we actually doing this? Why do we patronize influencers who actually endorse corrupt politicians? Balik tayo dun. 'Di ba? How come we don't ask for accountability from people who propagate this kind of culture? If shame-driven ang bansa, we should make corruption shameful. Yung mga influencers or celebrities na nagko-condone ng ganitong klaseng behavior, hold them accountable. And don't vote for people that you know have criminal records, 'di ba?
Right.
If cleansing happens, dapat it starts from the education system. It starts from the agricultural sector. Isa-isahin ang bawat department ng gobyerno.
Totoo.
Kapag nakita natin na meron talagang sistema ang korupsyon, that's when we should impose death penalty. Because the point is, wala naman pala tayong pwedeng gawin sa already rotten system, 'di ba? So as leaders, dapat kayo mismo kilalanin niyo kung ano yung mga sino yung mga taong nasa baba ninyo. Maybe they're putting a bad word or bad faith in you. In essence, the youth also should be more participative. Kung tayo, nagreklamo tayo, bakit di tayo yung tumakbo sa susunod na eleksyon?
True.
Diba? Why don't we empower more leaders, younger politicians to take action? But speaking of younger politicians, we are seeing a new breed of corrupt Gen Z politicians. Okay? So, sana tayo mismong Gen Zs, let's not patronize them. Let's hold them accountable. Let's make them more shameful. Let's make them ashamed of themselves. So are their families and so are their influencer friends. Sorry, personal take ko lang, no? So sana tayo maging aral to na hindi dapat recency bias lang. Ito lang yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon kasi ito yung mainit.
Yes.
Dapat sa susunod na eleksyon, tandaan nyo kung sino-sino yung mga tao na yan at hindi na dapat sila makaupo sa susunod na eleksyon. Because, if so, death penalty will be used to be abused by several other leaders in the next administration.
Right.
So, wag natin paabutin sa death penalty. Ang take ko dito, simulan natin sa pag-cleanse ng leaders ngayon. Then, after that,
Matuto.
sunod-sunod rin natin yung mga susunod na mga departments ng gobyerno. Yun yung point ko, ha? I don't think death is a quick solution. If you kill them, the truth dies and the solution dies with them. So that's my take on that. At syempre, no, ngayon naman nais din natin pasalamatan ang award-giving body.
Yes, nais din namin yung pagpasalamat sa Asian Television Awards dahil sa nominasyon ng Schoolmates as Best Talk Show!
So maraming salamat.
Muli,
Diba?
ang karangalang ito ay para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Sana po, mas pakinggan nyo pa kami at sana Asian Television Awards, ipanalo mo kami para marinig ng ibang
Yes.
bansa.
Para
Ito yung
manotice
nangyayari
tayo.
sa amin. Totoo. True, di ba?
And of course, maraming salamat din, BP Studio!
Thank you so much sa Bag Pilipinas
Thank
Studios.
you so much po!
At sana mas maraming creative juices pa ang
Yes.
may panganak sa studyong ito. And with that, Sabaw Sapin Sabaw Issue, may boses tayong mga kabataan.
Sumali makinig at makiisa dahil ang bawat opinion natin ay mahalaga.
Sabay-sabay nating isigaw sa buong mundo, schoolmates!
May pakialam ka!